forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Public comment, she was still going around, Judge, I guess. Can you sign this?
There's none on there yet.
Nothing on the, no, like it's nothing on.
Oh, I'll sign the abstract. Did you want to make a public comment? No,
Did you sign
it?
Okay, so,
Item two, no public comments. Item three, any certificate of.
yes, I do. I have one for Commissioner Clark and one for Commissioner Ross.
Okay, this is certificate, both Commissioner Paul Powell and Commissioner Richard Morales. Bickerstaff Heath Delgado Acosta LLP certifies that the two commissioners, Wilson County Commissioners, attended 1-hour training session on the Open Meetings Act, Public Officials Training, Open Meetings, Texas Open Meetings Act update, presented at the 2013 South Texas County Executive Commissioners Association Conference, Corpus Christi, Texas, June 13th, 2013. Congratulations. Item 4, approved bond for Roselle Fruity. Motion. Final, comment, all in favor? Item 5, public hearing, courthouse annex 1, 2, 3, update, comments, and questions.
It's for us and she judged.
Are there any questions or comments on any of the annexes that we're looking at?
On public hearings, I got a comment on one. There was an ad placed on the paper about a construction manager. What was that about, the construction manager for the?
Well, that's, to comply with the law as far as the, architect to go out or that's part of the process.
Is there a contract that we have to do with the manager, or what the price range that we're gonna, or they're gonna pay, or we're gonna pay?
I really don't know, to be honest, you know?
I think it's a sealed bid ad.
Huh?
It was an ad for sealed bids. I think is what it was, wasn't it?
No, that's not a sealed bid.
For, it's a request for qualifications, construction manager risk. I think that was presented to the judge. I reviewed it. Let me know if it.
I was just wondering, that's all in the paper, I didn't know.
Item 6, Elias Martinez, Wilson County Clerk, request to be allowed to make amendment to contract agreement with Property Info.
Last year, about this time, I had got a job contract on that company, Vinco, where they were gonna do some computer indexing, and they gave me a little bit lower bid this year. because of the amount of records that we have, and that's the money that I have in the archival. So we're just gonna continue with the project, that's all that it is, and the cost to the county itself. Would that be okay?
You don't need a vote on that, do you? Just a-
Yes, yeah,
Motion,
to let me amend it,
Commissioner,
so,
Wiley, Commissioner Gomez, on the bill.
thank you.
Judge, I'm sorry, I would just make a comment during the public hearing, if I may.
If we can back up on the public hearing, that's open for comment. We're back on item 5.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to make a comment to the Commissioners Court. I've spoke with several of you individually. I think going out for the debt is the wrong approach to fixing this situation that the county has. I know I respect what y'all are trying to do. I've been in your shoes being the mayor of City of Hope. I just think debt is not the answer to the solution. I think there are other solutions out there, and I beg you guys to reconsider that. I'd be happy to work with the Commissioners Court in any way to show you how we were able to fix our issues. We were basically in the same shoes you were 10 years ago for the City of Hope, and we were able to do it without getting in debt, and we were able to lower our tax rates 10 years straight for all the citizens of Hope, and now we even have a surplus, and we're able to do extra projects that we haven't been able to do before because the city was constantly in debt. And I just ask you very much look over what you guys have been thinking, look at the instances with the federal government, with them going to debt, look at other cities in the county who are in debt, and they have problems fixing everything that they need to fix because they are also in debt, the school districts and everybody. I just ask y'all please to reconsider going out for the $8 million bond. Thank you very much for your time.
Well, Travis, with all due respect, you wasn't in the same position we was in with the City of Hope. It's very different circumstances. We've got a much larger issue to deal with. We've got a much larger constituency to deal with. We put a lot of thought into it. We saw a lot of professional work on it. And I appreciate your thoughts and your comments, but it is a very different situation.
I just disagree. I say that that's never the answer to the city government problems.
Appreciate your comments. Anything else, anyone? If not, we'll move on to item 7, Verna K. Borzell, County Auditor. A, library would like to discuss purchase of a new copy machine, Toshiba.
The copy machine that the library has is a leased machine, and the lease is up on it, and it's quite old, and they're basically saying they're not gonna service it anymore. So I looked into the possibility of purchasing a machine for them. We looked at several machines. We looked at some that have a little swipe where people can go and swipe their debit card and that kind of thing. It was a nice machine. It was a little expensive, and we don't get to keep but like 40% of the money that gets swiped. So we kind of decided to go with something a little less elaborate. We're actually looking right now at a machine. There's actually 2 of them. There's a Toshiba for $7,200. It's comparable to what she has now. Doesn't have any major bells or whistles on it. It's just a basic machine that can make larger copies for people. There's also a smaller machine. It's a Lexmark, and it's $4,900, which is a nice machine too. It does not have as large a copy face on it, so larger items can't necessarily be copied. We have a lot of Toshiba right now. I was kind of leaning toward the Toshiba. I know it's a little more expensive. I think Nikki liked the Toshiba as well, but I think it'll be a good machine for the library for many years.
And can you check a Xerox
I think
on the leasing of one with the?
I think Lisa did check. We were kind of not leaning toward leasing.
Well, what I'm saying, a couple of years ago, I spoke with a clerk from up around the Dallas area, Barnett Shell, and they said that they was able to get the Xerox without any cost at all. All of the card went to Xerox. They placed a machine there in the.
Just place the machine, and then anything that was copied went to them. As far as, would you be interested in doing something like that?
You lost me there, when your card you're talking about, that's being swiped for a
Right.
debit card. That would be nice if it could be on our network, but I know for a fact that Toshiba will go with our network.
What were we paying for the lease of this machine?
It was,
155 a month, I think.
we've had it at least for.
Been 5 years.
5 or 6 years.
So 1,800.
And then on top of that, we paid so much per copy, whether it's black and white or color,
To them.
to them.
per copy.
Yes, yes, and of course.
And how long have you had that machine?
It's been over
5 years.
We go ahead and vote on purchasing a machine with the caveat that we'll check with Xerox and see if
Okay.
that's possible to do. If it's not, then obviously.
Do y'all wanna put a maximum on that as far as
It is cheaper over a 5-year period
to purchase?
to purchase than it is to lease.
When you purchase one,
And
you
and
need.
you're not having to pay them, and then you don't have to pay them so much per copy, because, so it becomes even a better
Yes,
deal.
and the other problem with leasing and why we're actually also, another reason we're looking at the Toshiba is when you lease a machine, once you turn that machine back, you know, they really want you to buy that machine. So they, you know, say, well, you can buy it for this much, but it's an old machine, they're not making parts for it anymore, so really, why would you wanna buy it? Then in order to send it back, it's all on you. And you have to pack it, and you have to buy the insurance, you have to pay for the shipping back, and you have to ship it to, you know, Australia or someplace ridiculous. So it's a little expensive to return it. Now, with this Toshiba, we bought a Toshiba in the tax office and the auditor's office, and we spoke to him, and he said that he would take care of returning the old Toshiba. So it would save us a little hassle and money there, but, you know, the leasing, you know, as far as budgeting and, you know, this is your monthly bill, that's fine, but in the long run, you are gonna pay quite a bit more on it.
Do we get a maintenance
Yes,
with this
yes,
purchase?
it's $48 a month.
I would make a motion, Judge, that we approve the purchase and that we approve up to the $7,200 for the Toshiba, with the caveat that you mentioned that we take a look at Xerox
leasing.
and see if there is another opportunity there.
Motion, is there a second? Commissioner File, all in favor? Item B, discuss and approve hiring a shredding company and purchasing a large shredder for county use.
I got one I pull behind the tractor, could you use it?
Hey, we can get somebody to put all that paper underneath it and then take it all out.
I'm used to it on the road.
Oh, yeah.
Commissioner File had asked about the possibility of a shredder. Right now, all of our paper and everything that we have is being disposed of by our maintenance people, and I believe it's mostly being burned. And I think what this came about when the commissioners are doing their recycling, and we have an enormous amount of paper that the county generates. And so I had Lisa sit down and take a look at different types of things, and we looked at purchasing a shredder. It's a very large shredder, and it would, you know, probably take care of all the needs. The problem is, of course, it would have to have a centralized location. Somebody would have to feed her, and somebody would have to haul all that out, but we would be able to recycle that material once it's been shredded. A machine like that will cost close to $12,000. We looked at smaller machines and putting them in different offices. You know, you can buy the really cheap little shredders, but they burn out in a matter of a few months. I think Eva goes through them like breath mints over there. So, you know, if you got, I know the sheriff has a few larger machines. Of course, if we're gonna buy larger machines that run $5,000 each, and you buy 3 or 4 of them, you know, we're spending a lot of money there too. The other thing that I had Lisa look at is actually companies that do shredding for us. And they provide you with a very large a big trash can, it looks like, but it's locked and everything, and they come, you know, as often as you need them to come and take that trash can and shred it and dispose of it. That kind of takes care of the shredding problem, but it also doesn't help as far as the recycling of the materials. There's various prices. The shredding service is very reasonably priced. You can get 6 of the big 65-gallon containers for $60 every time they pick it up. So if you have, you know, 6 containers and they come and pick it up once a month, it's $60 a month. They
For all the containers?
There's different prices. That is actually the least expensive. They're called Iron Man. We got a couple of other prices from Cintas, and they're $140 a month for basically the same thing. Shredded San Antonio is $111 a month. So these are just information as far as, I didn't know which way the county would like to go. Some people would prefer not sending the stuff out. I think it's fairly safe.
Well,
Most
the
people do
problem
that.
with that is that the sheriff's got a lot of, they run a lot of driver license and all kinds of things, I mean, they have social security and everything. I don't know, Ms. Martinez.
I
What kind
wouldn't
of-
be the kind that would like all my stuff to leave off-site because we have ballots that we have to shred or burn after a
Yeah.
period of time, and
They all basically say that, yes, you know, everything that is taken off-site is shredded and is confidential. You know, you can believe them or not.
Well, I think some of these shredding services, when the truck pulls up, they can do it on site.
They can do it on site.
And I guess like, both offices keep like a smaller unit that they have, and for the sensitive dockets, could go ahead and shred them prior to that, I guess, if they needed to.
Yeah, most offices, I know my office has a small little shredder, and we use it if we aren't lazy and don't stack stuff there for months and months. It's pretty easy to walk by and throw it in. It's after we've stacked it this high that it becomes a little cumbersome. But,
I think by using the service, we come out ahead because that having to have someone to, it just run your cost up, to have someone there too.
And I have two questions, or maybe just one question. How, and I have no idea of how much paper we're talking about. Are these 6 drums going to be satisfactory for a month, or are we filling up drums twice a month?
I just know that the county tax office, they've got a pretty good staff collecting what needs to be destroyed now.
The point that we're at right now, I'm sorry, the point that we're at right now, we're taking these steps to do recycling. I think that we probably, if we're burning these things, it's a good time to stop burning them and start trying to do something else, whether we invest in this larger shredder. I don't know what the life of this thing is.
well, we spoke to the people, and they said they have this monster shredder in their office, and they've had it for several years. From what I can tell, it's a very good shredder, and it shreds just about anything. I mean, you do not have to worry about, you know, staples or paper clips or, you know, anything like that in it. You just, actually, the gentleman told me you can throw a binder in there if you want books. Yeah, I mean, okay, well, I don't think we'll do that, but, so, you know, it does alleviate that pulling everything apart, and, you know, with the smaller machines.
Now, is that the venue of the purchase?
This is the purchase one. Now, this would be a good thing if the county really wanted to shred all the paper and recycle. I know that's one of the reasons that this whole thing came up, was the idea of, you know, we're taking all this stuff and burning it, whereas we could be recycling it and.
But the smaller one that we're talking about, that's about $5,000 or $4,000, would do the same thing, just not as much, correct?
It would shred, yes, but I'm not real sure what the volume on that would be.
Sounds like we need to do a little more investigation.
Can I ask a quick question? Like, when we have our project, would you allow us to use like a community service person?
Sure.
Then, because ours are seasonal.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, the other stuff we could do ourselves, but I'm talking about when we have a large volume.
So what we'd have to do, if we had one, then as you said, we'd have to have it located, it wouldn't be mobile someplace, whether it's outside of your office or wherever, and then the material would have to be brought.
And if you go with the agency, you got 6 different locations you can have.
Yeah.
And see, the thing is, I mean, that's basically what we're doing right now, is the, maintenance is going to all the different locations and loading up all that paper and then taking it and having it burned. So you're basically doing the same thing, but not burning it, you're shredding it, so.
Well, if the people that provide the containers, if they would take the containers and, you know, have some kind of truck and just empty them in that and then shred them on site, do they bring you containers and take the other one away? Is that how it works?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess the issue would be just, for
I'm saying
sure,
it would be,
what it is with sensitive things. What's
and
the
they,
issue
you
there?
know, we did ask and they basically,
Yeah.
yeah, see, and it's supposed to be confidential kind of thing, so, you know, they basically say yes. Everything's confidential, we safeguard it until we shred it, da. You know, I guess some of those doctors' offices find their stuff in the dumpsters in San Antonio, maybe like their stuff was confidential too, I don't, you know, I can't
But
speak to that.
Do one of our employees have to take it to the truck, or do they go get the?
No, they come and pick them up.
But they
But I can
take
find
the
out.
container away and give you another container, so you really don't know, I mean, you know that obviously they're probably ethical, but
And I mean, we
you never know
could,
who the guy is on the other end.
find out if they have a truck that they can bring, because I know a lot of counties do that, they'll get together with other, entities, you know, like the school and things like that, and they'll have a truck come and park there for a day, and everybody will bring their stuff, and they'll have a giant, you know, it's like a great big concrete thing where they throw things in there and it shreds it all up.
And Javier hours one carrying this,
Yeah.
he burned it through your hours.
And that ties in about half a day or more, just up there.
You know, since he parked his truck in this gymnasium out here, if we went with the one, we probably set up inside that gymnasium there. And, keep it.
Not a bad idea. Lesser stuff that was not so critical could just be brought over and stacked for a time. Things that were sensitive, you want to bring over and deal with immediately, you know, things that might provide pertinent information on citizens.
You don't wanna give Verna the, authority to go ahead and look into it, make a choice between the two, as to which you think would be most feasible.
If I move that we get Brian the chance to do a little more research and see if he can find which would be the best route to purchase that big machine or to rent it.
Go with the company or the big machine, whichever one. And,
Or someone that comes.
and that's my thought about the gymnasium there, was just a thought. It's not, it doesn't make any difference.
So on the,
Makes sense.
I mean, obviously, the containers and when they pick them up is financially much more reasonable, but y'all would require that it be shredded here on site. Okay, I'll check into that.
Do we vote?
And then not voted, you just made a motion and second.
Motion, make all in favor?
Aye.
Item C, auditor's financial report.
Each of y'all have a copy of the, what I've done is just put together a financial report for y'all that has year-to-date numbers through April. It's showing the income and the expenses, for for our fiscal year through April. The amount budgeted is also on there, and of course, the amount budgeted is the whole year's amount budgeted, so it'll give you an idea of how much we have in the budget and what we have remaining. I just wanted to kind of give you all an overview of where we are and what we're doing.
This is pretty standard,
Yes. I mean,
but based on past,
basically, yes. I mean, as far as any unusual items, no, not really. I didn't see anything that was just jumped out and slapped in the face or anything. And we have kind of consolidated everything, so it's very consolidated. If y'all would like to see the entire report, if I were to do the entire report, it's about that big, because we have all the line items, so we just consolidated them to the departments. Just kind of give you an overview of where we are.
And these are monies when you put them on here, are the ones that we keep, not anything that goes to the state and this and that. Okay. That makes sense.
And it's just information.
Item D, discuss approve moving law library from district clerk's office to county library.
I was speaking to Debbie Bryan, our district clerk, the other day, and she has the law library in her section over there. Basically what the law library is some law books that she has over there, and also a computer that has a subscription to, I think it's Westlaw, and might be Nexus Lexus somehow. I don't really remember.
It's just
Westlaw, for the general public to be able to use for research, and we're required to provide that. She's been having some problems with her computer over there, and we were discussing it the other day, and she was like, you know, most people don't even know it's there, and she was asking what I thought and what Nikki thought of the idea of moving that to the public library, and we kind of sat down and talked about it, and it would just be a matter of Nikki would have the subscription at the public library, and then she could also have a larger section, because she already has some law books, but a larger section of law books that people would be able to use. We just felt that it would be more convenient for the general public to be able to use it there. It wouldn't be any additional cost. Basically, it's just a matter of moving the subscription from one computer to another computer.
Dana,
Sure.
we're required to maintain a law library. Is there any requirement that it be with the district court?
No, Judge, under the local government code, the county, if the county elects, the commissioner's court elects for the clerks to collect the fee, which our clerks have been collecting, then that's the creation essentially of a law library. The court has the discretion as to how to run the library, where to put it, the contents, whether or not to hire staff, and that's completely open under the government code as to the discretion of the court. So there is no legal impediment to putting it at the library, and as far as the Westlaw, that's a license to use, and so depending on how that would be budgeted, however many licenses.
Well, Ms. Becky, will that create any problems for the library? I mean, you have room, space, and everything when it comes around to the moving and all?
It would help us, we have quite a few people who already come to us looking for legal forms, and we tell them we can't help them because they don't.
Motion? I move Commissioner Fowler, Commissioner Gomez, on the table.
Aye.
Item 8, Senator Martin Quinn, Wilson County Judge. A, consider an action on the resolution authorizing publication of notice to issue certificates of obligation. Bickerstaff, Clayton Holland from Bickerstaff, called the other day after talking with Mr. Henderson, and he sent this for us to resolution. Wilson County Certificates of Obligation Series 2013. Having enclosed 6 originals of the resolution authorizing publication and notice of intention to issue certificates of obligation, and 5 originals of the certificate of resolution for the approval of Commissioners Court. Please have all resolutions and certificates executed as indicated. Keep one resolution for filing with the county's official record, and return the remaining resolutions and certificates to our office at your convenience. Please let me know whether Commissioners Court has approved the publication of notice so that we can make arrangements for publication. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to call Clayton Collins. Resolution authorizing publication of notice of intention to issue certificate of obligation to the state of Texas, county of Wilson. Whereas the Commissioners Court of Wilson County, Texas, the county, deemed it advisable to give notice of intention to issue certificates of obligation of said county as hereinafter provided. And whereas it is officially found and determined that the meeting at which this resolution has been considered and acted upon was open to the public, and public notice of the time, place, and subject and said meeting was given. All is required by Chapter 551 Texas Government Code as amended. Now therefore be it resolved that the Commissioners Court of Wilson County, Texas, Section 1, form of notice attached hereto and marked Exhibit A is a form of notice of intention to issue certificate of obligation, the form of the substance of which are hereby adopted and approved. Section 2, publication of notice. Said notice shall be published in substantially the form attached hereto in a newspaper as defined in subsection D of Chapter 2051, Texas Government Code of General Circulation in said county once a week or 2 consecutive weeks. The date of the first publication thereof to be at least 30 days prior to the date tentatively set for passage of the order authorizing the issuance of such certificate. Passed and approved on the 24th day of June 2013. Exhibit A reads, notice of intention to issue certificates of obligation. Notice is hereby given that the Commissioners Court of Wilson County, Texas, will convene at 9 a.m. on the 12th day of August 2013 at the regular meeting. Place thereof the County Courthouse, Annex Suite 2, 1103 4th Street, Floresville, Texas, and during such meeting, the Commissioners Court will consider passage of orders that take such other actions as may be deemed necessary to authorize the issuance of the following certificate of obligations in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $8,500,000 for the purpose of paying contractual obligations to incur the restoration and renovation of the county courthouse, renovation, construction, and equip the Wilson County Annex No. 3 for a criminal justice center, county library, and county offices, renovation and equipment for the existing county library for county offices, construction and equipping of the county animal shelter, construction and improvement of county roads, and the payment of professional services and costs of issuance related thereto. The certificates of obligation will be payable from the levy of an annual ad valorem tax within the limitations prescribed by law upon all taxable property in the county, and a limited pledge not to exceed $1,000 of the surplus revenues of the county solid waste disposal system. The certificates of obligation are to be issued and notice is given under and pursuant to the provision of Certificate of Obligations Act of 1971 as amended Local Government Code Section 271.041 ETSEQ. Certificate for resolution. The County of Texas, the State of Texas, County of Wilson, I, the undersigned county clerk of Wilson County, do hereby certify as follows. That on the 24th day of June 2013, the regular meeting of the Commissioners Court of the County Commissioners Court was held at the regular meeting place in the County Annex No. 3, Suite 2, 1003 4th Street, Floresville, Texas. And the roll was called on the duly constituted officers and members of the Commissioners Court, who with Martin Quinn County Judge Albert Gomez, Junior Commissioner, Paul W. Powell Commissioner, Regional Morales Commissioner, Larry A. Wiley Commissioner. And all of the said persons were present except for the following, thus constituting the quorum, whereupon, among other business, the following was transacted instead of being written resolution entitled. A resolution authorizing publication of notice of intention to issue certificate of obligation was duly introduced and considered for Commissioners Court and read in full. It was then duly moved and seconded, and said resolution will be passed, and after due discussion, said motion carrying with the passage of said resolution prevailed and carried by the following vote, ayes, noes, and abstentions. And two, a true, full, and correct copy of the aforesaid resolution passed at the meeting described in the above foregoing paragraph is attached to the following list of certificates. Said resolution has been duly recorded in the official minutes of said Commissioners Court. The above foregoing paragraph is a true, full, and correct excerpt from said meetings pertaining to the passage of the said resolution. The persons named in the above and foregoing paragraph at the time of said meeting and the passage of the said resolution were the duly chosen, qualified, and acting officers of the members of the said Commissioners Court as indicated therein. Each of the said officers and members were duly and sufficiently notified officially and personally in advance of the time, place, and purpose of the aforesaid meeting, and that the resolution would be introduced and considered for passage at said meeting. And each of the said officers and members consenting in advance to the holding of said meeting for such purpose, and said meeting was open to the public, and the public notice of the time, place, and purpose of said meeting was given, all as required by Chapter 551 Texas Government Code, and that would be called for the county clerk's signature. Overnight, these copies from the firm. On the resolution, motion authorizing publication of notice of the intention to issue certificates of obligation, is there a motion? Motion, Commissioner Powell, second, Commissioner Wiley, all in favor? Those opposed? One opposed, Commissioner Thomas. Discuss and take action on certificate of obligation series 2013.
When you called it the agenda item, Judge, you had called that agenda item and then you called that, so we left both of them on in case you needed to add something on to it. If not,
It's either or, but not both. It's one item or the other.
right, right. The proper wording is the first page, but if there was anything else to be missed.
Item 9, Leanne Horchak, EMC, A, utility permit.
This first permit is number 469, the coastal water supply. Commissioner Gomez has already reviewed.
Motion. Commissioner Gomez, second Commissioner Morales, all in favor? Motion carried. Item 2, permit number 470 for Eagle Waters, Loudoun County Corporation, County Road 242, precinct 2, review and approve. Motion, Commissioner Fowler, second. Commissioner Gomez.
425 is precinct 4.
All in favor?
Aye. 434 is.
Permit 470 on County Road 242, I might have written the next one down, I'm not sure.
The location is right at the,
It's at 430, at 334, which is precinct 3, but 425 is in precinct 4. I don't know if it doesn't matter, so it's not coming out.
I located, they're gonna start right there at the corner, on Fort Wayne,
By the subdivision, and run water up to.
down to 334.
We're talking about item 3 now? Permit 471, Sunco Water Supply, County Road 425, Air County Road 334, precinct 3, review and approve. Motion, Commissioner Morales, second Commissioner Wiley, all in favor? Item B, temporary water lines, this all information.
those are all for information purposes.
Item B, for informational purposes, item 1, EOG renewal of permit, County Item 2 is Hunt Oil, County Road 252 at the intersection of FM 541 SV Pruski to Laskowski. Item 3 is Hunt Oil, County Road 236 and County Road 541 near Lacey and Scheffler property. Item 4 is Hunt Oil, County Road 210, County Road 205, Factor to Kershaw property. Item C is Pipeline Crossing, Hunt Oil, County Road 210, Blue Dow IH to Factor Facility, Precinct 2, review, that's what it's review and approve, Pipeline Crossing. Motion Commissioner File, second Commissioner Rice, all in favor? Item 10, financial report.
One thing I need to point out to y'all is I've already started taking money from tax bill into the general fund. 1.5 million so far.
Everybody had an opportunity to review it? Commissioner comments, Commissioner Rice, all in favor? That's signature sheet.
I didn't put it on the back of it, did I? No, I didn't receive that. No. I'm sorry, I'll get it to you.
Okay.
This morning, I'm so sorry. Because I didn't pick it up when I gave it to Melanie to copy.
Item 11, payroll personnel claims.
Okay. We had Thomas Castro resign, 5/25/2013, Department 120 from Road Bridge Precinct 1. Alfonso Torres had a $25 promotion. Department 420 was actually supposed to be $50 the time before, so I'm just including that, from 25 from corporal to sergeant. Michelle Avaler terminated 420, correction officer. Roxanne Sedania was hired 5/29/2013, Department 420 as a correction officer. Justin Gutierrez resigned 5/29/2013, Department 420 as a correction officer. Ernest Muchigamba retired 5/31/2013, Road and Bridge Precinct number 2. Cassandra Martinez was hired 6/1/2013, Department 420, $2,000 a month as a dispatcher. Ramondo Luna was hired 6/5/2013, Department 120, $2,083.33 a month as Road and Bridge Precinct number 1. Caitlin Taylor resigned 6/7/2013, Department 700 part-time library clerk. Donna Klepak was hired 6/10/2013, Department 7 $700 part-time library clerk. Jacob Jusmala resigned 6/14/2013, Department 420 as a correction officer. And Felicia Manharis resigned 6/20/2013, Department 420 as a dispatcher.
Any questions, comments? Motion? Commissioner Wiley, Commissioner Gomez, all in favor? Thank you, Jan. Item 12, bills.